okay, we're going to write things down that they've given me and try to figure it out. And, one of the things you could write down is, I know AN, I'll write this over here, is 95 over 6, and that would equal A1 plus n minus 1. I know there's two unknowns here, by the way, that's fine, times the D, which is 5/6. I'm going to multiply both sides by 6, and you would get 95 equals A1 plus 5 times n minus 1. And I'm gonna try to solve that. Let me see if I did that right. You know what? I made a mistake. I said I was multiplying by 6. So this would be 6A1. I just noticed that. So I guess I could leave it at that. But either solve for n, I'm going to simplify a little bit further. 95 6A1 plus 5n minus 5. I'm going to add 5 to both sides, and you get 100 equals 6A1 plus 5n. All right? I think I want to leave it at that for the time being. Let me erase this business up here. I'm not going to say baby work, but work that I don't really need to look at again. I'm pretty clear about that. And let's see what we come up with now. I can write SN down now. And what's SN? SN is 935 over 6. And that's going to be N. I don't know what N is. Over 2. And then, you know what? I got to get A1. So what's A1 going to be? It's going to be 100 minus 6A1 over 5. Oh, no, I want A1. I don't want N. I'll write that down for you. Let's write A1 down then. 100 minus 5n over 6 equals A1. Now you may wonder why I want to get in terms of n. It's because I see an n over here. So let's write this down. It gets a little, it's A1, right? So it's 100 minus 5n over 6. And then, do I know an? Yeah, it's 95 over 6. All right, let me just start doing some work over here. And I'm going to multiply both sides by 6 initially. And you're going to get 935. You know what? I'm also going to multiply not only by 6, but by 2. And what would you get over here? You would get n. I got to multiply 2, clears the fraction off. And the 6 because of those two terms on the inside there. And that's going to give you 100 minus 5n plus 95. All right? I'm going to start to erase things because I'm kind of running out of room here. No information has been lost by getting rid of that. And I got to do some arithmetic here, don't I? So 1870, these are terrible numbers, by the way. 1870 equals minus 5n squared plus 195n. And I got a quadratic to solve now. And let me write this down for you. So 5n squared minus 195n plus 1870 equals 0. Well, you know what I got to do with this? I got to divide by 5 to make it more manageable for me. So it's n squared minus, well, I think I could do 5 into 195. And I think it's pretty easy, but I'm still going to write it down for you. 195, that goes in 3 times, which is 15. That's 45, so 39 times. And I'm also going to do 5 into 1870, and that's the whole point of it, to make these numbers more manageable for me. So I'll write this down, 5 into 1870. Well, that goes in 3. 3 times 5 is 15. You get 37. I'm going to say 7, which is going to give you 35. And then you get 2, 0, and now it would be 4. So 374. And that equals 0. Now someone says, why do you do that? The numbers are smaller. They're easier for me to deal with. But now I have to factor in. And I know it's going to be an integer, so I know it's going to be factored unless I made some horrendous mistake. But there's always trouble. I'll tell you what the troubles are. I got to figure out the factors of 374 are. And the way I do that is I kind of look at it, and I look for simple ones. So I can say 2 times, let's see, that would be 150, 185, 187. Let's see if I did that right. 360 and 14, yeah, 187. I'm kind of looking at that 187. $17. So I'm going to say 17 goes into 187. And I'm not saying I saw it right away, but you'll eventually see things 11 times. So I'm going to say 17. I'm going to put the 11 with the 2 and 22. Now, by the way, that looks like it might do it for me because 22 and 17 will give you 39. So write this down. And I'll check it anyway. Now, some people say, oh, you're using the AC rule. In a sense, I am, but I'm still playing around with the numbers. Erase this over here, my baby arithmetic. You do get n squared. 17 and 22 is minus 17 minus 39. And 22 times 17 is 374. So now I got 2 problems here. And I'll tell you what the problems are. I've got 2 legitimate numbers. So n could be 22, or the n could be 17. And that's a problem for me. I'll tell you why it's a problem for me. I have to go back and wonder what they want. So I think I could come up with A1. So if n is 22, A1 would equal, well, I got the formula over here. And so what's 5 times 22? That's 110. And 100 minus 110 is minus 10 over 6, which is minus 5 thirds. So if n is 22, I would get minus 5 thirds. Let's put down n is 17. What's A1 going to be equal to? Well, again, I'm still using the formula. So what's 17 times 5? What's 50 and 35? 85. 100 minus 85 is 15, so it's 15 over 6. I'll divide through by 3, and that would be 5 over 2. So if n is 17, you get 5 over 2. All right? So what was the question again? N and A1. We found 2 separate answers for the problem.